Okay, I'm here on a demo phone looking at the oneofus.net uh, homepage, and I'm going to do a quick phone size demo of some of what we have. There's all kinds of information on this webpage about why we would want to do this and how we accomplish it. And I'll just access these App Store links and run the app on my phone. And so I already have the app installed. And before I do, quickly I'll show what's on my desk here. I have a phone with my actual identity and a laptop that I'll use later. And so back to the app here, it's saying welcome, and you have no keys on this device. So I'll say create new identity. And I'm being congratulated. I now possess my own cryptographic public private key pair, and that is also expressed in QR form right here. And I'll jump in and I'll click on this scan button. I'll allow my phone to use the camera. And this is going to happen quick, but I'm going to show this demo phone that I'm holding, Tom's phone. And so now the app is asking me, whose key is that? Vouch for this identity only if you know if it's a human being acting in good faith. And I'll say that is Tom. That's what I call that dude. And I'll click publish. And now this demo phone has signed and published a statement. It signed it using the cryptographic key that only this phone has, published it on the internet with information on what is Tom's public key and where does Tom host his identity statements. And that's how we build our decentralized identity app, is just publish stuff that's publish statements that are signed and can't be forged and are portable from service to service. And we, of course, also want to have Tom scan my phone, this demo phone. Tom's not going to do that. And we can click on share invitation link. In this link, if we email it to Tom or text it to Tom, we'll have all the same information that would be in if he scanned this QR code. So what can we do if we have this identity network built up? Well, I'll go to our demo service, the Nerdster, and there's all kinds of information on why and how here. I'll launch the app, and it's saying sign in using your identity app, for example, oneofus.net, into this service. And so I'll click on that, and my identity app, oneofus.net, is asking, you're signing into nerdster.org. Would you like to create a delegate key for this service? And I'll say, yes, create a delegate key. We see that animation, this little notification. And then over here on the Nerdster side, we can see that the identity key and the delegate key have been sent over from the identity app. The reason for these delegate keys is we want to use hundreds of services: Reddit, New York Times comments, Wall Street Journal comments, Maps, Uber, Airbnb. We want to be ourselves on all of them, but we can't give them all our private key. And so we give them a delegate key, and we sign off using our own private key, our identity key, that represents us there. And so let's take a look at the Nerdster. I'll filter it to books, and I'll sort by comments, and I'll dismiss with this by swiping right, or I'll snooze it rather, and this one I'll dismiss. And over here I can see this book with comments by Tom and Eyal. I'll click on this and I'll give it a like. And now we can see my like here. I can submit new comments on subjects that aren't yet in here by clicking on that. And so, do we really need another one of these with links and likes and follows? Well, we absolutely don't, but this one is different. The thing about this one is all the likes and such, and all the follows, and all the content is signed by our own keys, and any service, as long as that service, we tell it who we are by giving it our identity public key, can show us stuff from the Nerdster and know that it's really from us. And so it'd be great to be ourselves everywhere. We have our own network that exists. We know each other. We know who's a real person. We know what their name is, but we can't possibly get X to use Facebook's network. They're never going to do that. And so we want to own the decentralized identity network and let all the services use it. So getting back to this post here, I know who Tom is. I scanned Tom's phone. I said, that's Tom. And whenever I use our decentralized identity network on any service, that person will be shown as Tom to me. And I don't know who Eyal is, so I'll click on Eyal. and I can see this one directional arrow because I scanned Tom's phone, so that's Tom. And I can see that Tom and Eyal scanned each other's phones. If I click on Eyal, I can see Eyal's identity keys and Eyal's delegate keys. I can decide to follow Eyal. That would be leveraging the fact that our identity network told me that that really is Eyal. And now I want to say I want to follow him for Nerdster content. And that would be available to any service as well. So Facebook could know that I follow Eyal, or Reddit or news services that decide to use this. I can go here and I can say this content was objectionable. I didn't like his comment, and so I'll block them. I'm being warned that blocking, saying that's not a human being, is harsh. I'll say block anyway. And now notice it switched me over to the identity app because we decide who's a real person or not in the identity app, not in the Nerdster. We sign that with our identity key. And so I'm going to sign and publish a statement on the identity app here, blocking Eyal. And if I go back to the Nerdster and refresh, it's going to load my most recent signed statements. And we can see that, boom, Eyal no longer exists. I don't see his comment over here. If I swap the point of view, these are all the people on my network, and I look at Tom's point of view, it's loading content statements again. And now Eyal is back in here because from Tom's point of view, Eyal is a person. Tom scanned his phone. Tom never scanned this demo phone that I'm holding in my hand. And so from Tom's point of view, it's a little different. That's why it's all decentralized. Furthermore, if we go here and I don't know who Hillel is, I'll click on Hillel, and I can see Tom scanned Hillel's phone, and I can see that Hillel uses the contact sharing app Tango. And so maybe I want to follow him on X or send him an email. I want to see his contact information. I'll click on that. And again, it uses our decentralized identity network. It wants to know who I am. I'll click on that. I'll create a delegate key for Tango. That way I can give Tango my own contact information, being this demo phone. We can see it's been sent over. And now when we see that we're signed into Tango, we can see access denied. So Tango wants to show you only contact information from people in your network that you believe are real. And it also protects privacy and lets you share contact info only with people that you believe are real. Nobody believes that this demo phone that I just started using with this demo identity is a real person, and so I can't see Hillel's contact information. If I used my own phone over here to sign in to Tango, I would be able to send Hillel an email and more. Now, in the Big Boy Tech Talk, what we'll do is we'll go to the big computer, we'll launch the Nerdster there. I'll sign in with a QR code. So let me do that. I'll go to the app and I'll scan that. And now that's been sent over to the big computer. And I'm signed in here and I can see my like. And I can also, and we'll do this on the Big Boy Tech Talk, we'll turn on this Show Crypto and Show FYI, and we'll look at some of the stuff here that shows the signed statements and the mechanism that makes it work so that any app, not just the Nerdster, can know that all the information on this page is real. There's a full cryptographic signature chain starting from my own key, which I related to the Nerdster, to all the content I see, and all the stuff is portable and can be used by any service so that we break the silo monopoly that they have where they own our likes, they own our follows, and we're different accounts on all the services, and no service can come in and suddenly do a better job than these big silos on what products we like or what people or what businesses or what news we want to read and so on. So I think I've shown quite a bit. I'll run through the remaining screens here. So that's the main screen. Once again, no one knows who this phone is, so it says me. I can see the people I've trusted. I can see in this case that Tom has not trusted me, but I've trusted him, and I can remove that trust or edit it. I can see the two services that I've issued delegate keys to. And so let's say I don't want to use the Nerdster anymore. I can clear that delegate key And now, boom, I don't have a Nerdster account anymore. I don't even have to go to the Nerdster to remove my account. I could just do it on my identity app. We have the import export screen, and so we can see that these keys belong to me. I own them. I have them. And if I want to use a different app, I can share them, or if I switch phones. And on the advanced screens, you can rotate your key if you lose it to be the same person you've always been. So that's about it. Again, we want this to be authentically us. The internet liberated lies and pornography. We want to liberate authenticity and trust. It's decentralized. It's just a bunch of statements signed by our own keys, and services can be open about using them all and not relying on their own monopolies. Thank you for watching.